Thanks for joining us on the final day of 2024. I'm Melissa Hekalea. 2024 is drawing to a close. As part of the New Year's Eve celebrations, there will be a 12-minute fireworks display at Victoria Harbour starting at the stroke of midnight. Many tourists have arrived in Hong Kong to watch the fireworks. Anip tells us more.
The fireworks show hasn't started yet, but travelers have already begun securing their spots for tonight's event at the waterfront in Kennedy Town. This visitor said she has visited Hong Kong 50 times, but has never seen the New Year fireworks. Another traveler from Taiwan expressed excitement about experiencing the fireworks for the first time. At Shenzhen Bay Port, many tourists are coming to Hong Kong using the multiple entry permits. Many of them have plans to go shopping while in the city. This lady from the mainland said she's going to spend around $30,000 to $50,000 on cosmetics and daily necessities. This woman from Shenzhen said she intends to enjoy food across the city, noting that Hong Kong offers ample dining options. Many, however, do not plan to stay overnight. This tourist said she will be returning to Shenzhen due to high hotel prices. Another said they won't stay for the night as the mainland is close to Hong Kong and traveling back is simple for them. This restaurant in Wan Chai offers a view of Victoria Harbour. Its New Year's Eve set menu is around $1,000 per person and includes steak, seafood, and more. The restaurant manager, Andy Mack, said reservations were already full 2 days ago, and that business has been better than last year.
It's more than probably 10%. Yeah, I think because of the policy for the mainland people, the policy have the change. I think probably last month, that's more mainland people.
Mack says the restaurant will be bustling with various types of people tonight, including large groups, families, and couples. He adds the new year will be celebrated in a joyful atmosphere decorated with balloons, accompanied by the fireworks. And TVB News.
Lan Fong is one of the city's favorite nightlife spots, and our reporter Celine Chan is there to see how revelers are celebrating New Year's Eve there. Hi Celine, so what is it like at Lan Fong right now?
Well, thank you, Melissa. Residents and tourists have been coming to Lan Fong to have a good time for hours now as they want to bid farewell to the year of 2024 with their loved ones. Bar owners told us they're expecting more people to come as the night approaches and that they are confident in making a strong showing over the holiday period, with reservations reaching as high as 80%. Well, the Lan Fong Association also came up with different campaigns to attract more customers. Well, that's all from me right now. Back to you at the studio.
Thanks, Celine. She'll be there until midnight. Scores of residents have already made their way to Victoria Harbour hours before tonight's fireworks display to secure the best viewing spots. The fireworks show is set to take place at midnight. Just like last year, the performance will be visible from Central to North Point. Many people brought along cameras and picnic mats to prepare for these spectacular sights. The gala also attracted plenty of overseas tourists.
In my dream, I want to count down in Hong Kong because I think the countdown in Hong Kong is the best destination of the world.
In addition to the midnight fireworks at Victoria Harbour, other New Year's Eve countdowns will be held across the city in locations such as the Big Buddha and Disneyland. Special traffic arrangements have been made to facilitate the events. Timothy Lee tells us more.
With 2025 just hours away, Hong Kong's public transport services have made adjustments in expectation of heavier traffic. Besides the Airport Express and Disneyland Resort line, the MTR's other 8 local lines will provide overnight services. Overnight service will be provided by 7 light rail lines, including routes 505, 507, 610, 706, and 751. In a bid to divert inbound travelers and traffic flow, the Shenzhen Bay Port will remain open all night, while the Lo Wu Port will extend its services until 2 a.m. The MTR's East Rail line will also extend its service for those traveling to and from Lowu Station, with the last train departing Admiralty Station at 12:56 a.m. The last train from Lowu to Admiralty will depart at 2 a.m. But trains traveling to and from Lok Ma Chau Station will not extend service hours. Meanwhile, Kowloon Motorbus, Longwen Bus, and City Bus will all strengthen services for routes including the Hong Kong International Airport, Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge, and the Shenzhen Bay Port. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
President Xi Jinping delivered his New Year's address today. In a national broadcast, Xi sent his New Year's greetings. The president gave his economic outlook for China, saying the estimated gross GDP of the country will be more than 130 trillion yuan. Before ending his address, Xi said no one could prevent China from its reunification. The president also said China is willing to work with other countries around the world to be what he called a friendly contributor. The State Council has appointed Chan Se-tat as Commissioner of the Customs and Excise Department. Chan was previously the Deputy Commissioner of the department. His predecessor, the department's first ever female commissioner, Louise Ho, has started her pre-retirement leave. Mimo Singhai reports.
On Tuesday morning, 54-year-old Chen Ji-dat was sworn in as the new head of the Customs and Excise Department. Chen joined the department as an inspector in 1994 and became its deputy head in 2022. Speaking with the media, Chen said he is honored to have been nominated and appointed to the new post. Chen said the new job involves huge responsibilities and highlighted 5 areas he wanted to focus on. These include strengthening enforcement actions against a new drug called space oil, a kind of liquid that often contains etomidate, a type of anesthetic. As of the end of December, customs authorities have arrested 12 people and seized more than 70,000 capsules that could be converted into space oil.
Working together with other law enforcement agencies, we are confident and we are capable to interdict the influx of such goods into our local market.
Chen said they had clamped down on more than 90,000 cases of cigarette smuggling across all border checkpoints this year. He said the department will enhance their actions to combat such smuggling.
We are currently also working against syndicate crimes, and we will put more resources into the detection and investigation of major smuggling syndicates, which smuggle the illicit cigarettes into Hong Kong.
When asked about the issue of insufficient manpower, Chen said the existing staff number can handle the department's affair. Memos 9. TVB News.
In other news, South Korea's acting president Choi Sang-mok has called for national harmony and unity as well as trust in the government in his New Year's address. This amid an unprecedented political crisis sparked by impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol's short-lived martial law declaration earlier this month. Today, a South Korean court issued warrants to detain Yoon and search his office and residence in connection with his martial law decree investigation. Tracy Furness has more.
Supporters of impeached South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol gathered outside the presidential residence on Tuesday after a court issued warrants to arrest Yoon and search his office and residence. The warrants were requested by investigators examining Yoon's short-lived imposition of martial law on December 3rd over allegations of an insurrection. Hundreds of supporters sat outside chanting slogans against opposition party lawmakers and the National Assembly's impeachment of Yoon. President Yoon Suk-yeol is facing investigation of allegations that he was the leader of an insurrection. The Seoul Western District Court issued warrants to detain Yoon and to search his office and residence in central Seoul, according to a statement from the Corruption Investigation Office for high-ranking officials. By law, a president in South Korea is allowed to declare martial law only during wartime or similar emergencies and has no right to suspend parliament's operations, even under martial law. The leader of a rebellion could face the death penalty or life imprisonment if convicted. Tracy Furness, TVB News.
As the investigation into the Jeju air crash that killed 179 people in South Korea continues, the CEO of the budget airline told customers The company will repair trust. U.S. experts from Boeing that manufactured the airplane have arrived in Wuhan to help investigators. Funeral services have begun for some victims, while other families are still waiting for remains after a painstaking identification process. David Garrett with the latest.
Most of the 179 victims from the Jeju air crash have been identified. Now, investigators sift through the wreckage trying to work out what went wrong. They hope to inspect the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data black box. This team has been joined by more than 20 experts from America, including 4 from Boeing, the company that made the 737-800, which skidded and crashed into a concrete wall at Wuhan Airport on Sunday.
Probably what struck me the most about it was why that concrete berm was there, because that airplane could have stopped. People could have gotten off of it if they hadn't hit that concrete berm. Why was it there?
Only the tail of the shattered aeroplane is intact. 2 crew members, the only survivors, were in the back of the aeroplane. Video has emerged of the pair arriving at hospital following the crash. Initially treated at hospitals near the airport, they are filmed here being transported to specialist medical facilities in the capital, Seoul, hours after their rescue.
Welcome back. China's domestically produced C919 commercial aircraft will start regular flights between Hong Kong and Shanghai starting tomorrow. The C919 inaugural flight will depart from Hongqiao, Shanghai at 8:15 a.m., arriving in Hong Kong at around 11 a.m. A return flight is scheduled to leave Hong Kong at about 1 p.m. Both the Shanghai and Hong Kong governments are planning to hold welcome ceremonies for the occasion. The plane is the first aircraft of the same model with in-cabin internet capabilities. Currently, only one licensed engineer in Hong Kong can maintain the C919, and there is a need for more trained personnel as local airlines may adopt this aircraft in the future. Railway tickets for the Spring Festival travel rush in the mainland are now on sale, with over 500 million passengers expected to travel during this period. The authorities are trying out a new ticket booking system this year, allowing the public to select their departure dates and train services in advance. This enables the system to automatically submit ticket orders for users once tickets become available. Previously, tickets could only be purchased 15 days ahead, forcing travelers to set alarms to secure tickets as they were released. The 40-day travel rush is expected to run from mid-January to around the end of February. India's space program took another leap forward as the world's most populous country successfully began its first docking mission.
3, 2, 1, 0.
2 small spacecraft were launched from Andhra Pradesh. In a week's time, it is planned that these spacecraft will join up with each other 470 kilometers above Earth. Then they will test the docking procedure, a robotic arm, and electricity transfer between the 2 vehicles. Narendra Modi's government is aiming to make India the 4th nation after the U.S., Russia, and China to carry out a docking in space. This maneuver is crucial as India plans to land a person on the moon by 2040. A court in Serbia has convicted the parents of a teenage boy who shot dead 9 students at a school guard and wounded 6 more in a primary school in Belgrade last year. The higher court in Belgrade sentenced the boy's father to 14 years and 6 months in prison for grave acts against public safety and for child neglect. The mother was sentenced to 3 years in prison for child neglect, but was acquitted on charges of illegal possession of weapons. The shooter was 13 years old when he committed the crime and was therefore too young to face trial under Serbian law. His parents were detained soon after the shooting and prosecuted for failing to keep the weapons out of reach of their son. Greece's government will launch an app which it says will give parents more control over their children's internet use. The Kids Wallet is coming in March with the aim of safeguarding under 15s from excessive or inappropriate browsing. The Minister for Digital Governance says the app will be installed on all mobiles sold in Greece by the end of 2025. The government has admitted that accurately verifying the age of youngsters will be difficult. And see you tomorrow, 2025. Bye for now.